Ko, thanks for sitting down with me today. I appreciate your time. We're here in Beijing at the World Seed Congress, and as of April 2014, Nunhems has changed their visual identity to be correlated with Bayer. Can you tell us a little bit about how and the why that's going to execute since April and through this year?
Yeah. Well, I tell you first the reason because of this transition. Bayer is a large international company with a big equity and shareholders value on the DAX, the German stock exchange, one of the biggest. And they really take care of their brand value. And it is clear that also vegetable seeds can add value to that Bayer brand. Vegetables are healthy. Vegetable seeds are non-GMO. And we try through breeding to prevent any use of chemicals. So in that way we really add a nice value to the Bayer brand. So that is one of the reasons to change our corporate brand to Bayer, although the 98-year-old vegetable seed business of Nunhems remains as a product brand. So in that way we feel part of the family together with Aspirin, which is also a 100-year brand of Bayer.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I have in 1973 is when you started Nunhems. So yes. If my math is correct, we've got 41 years in the seed business, Ko. 41 years in the seed business. What would you pluck off as the most important thing you've learned in the seed industry, and how has it helped you be successful?
Probably the big change I saw is from small vegetable growers who grew 10, 15 crops for local use towards the big, large vegetable growers who are even internationally organized to supply retailers year-round with the same quality of vegetables. They are often specialized to make an optimum use of their machinery for sowing, planting, harvesting, packing, etc. They are so that is a big change. The other big change is more in, say, the R&D, the breeding, where originally it was selection of OPs, then the breeding of hybrids, and now it is of course making use of market technology, cell biology, phytopathology, and all the sciences which are available.
The last time you sat down with Seed World was back in 2008, and you talked then, or we spoke then, about health claims for specific varieties in the vegetable seed industry. We're now 6 years on from that. How has that changed, and how has that evolved, and where do you see that issue sitting now?
The acceptance of differentiated health traits by, say, the authorities is not easy. The barriers are increasing, and of course there are certain health claims in general in certain vegetable crops, but differentiation by variety is something which I don't see coming in the next 5 years. It is absolutely difficult to get that registered.
Difficult to get it registered. Do you think that there's a will to make it happen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, absolutely, because certainly in the developed countries, the older generation wants to stay alive as long as possible. They are prepared to pay something extra for vitamin additions, healthy food, so in that way it fixes very well. But it is more the regulations, and certainly in the European Union and in America, which make it not easy to be accepted.
To be accepted, right. So then the next topic for us to talk about is GMO. Certainly not 100% accepted by any stretch of imagination, but I think starting to become more accepted. Your thoughts?
Well, GMO, I think it will take still quite a long time in vegetables before it's really used. The registration of GMOs and that takes a lot of money. I think it will cost probably between 10 and 15 million per trade. the whole vegetable market is very small, fragmented. So I think it is not really a profitable option to go that route in the coming years. And I don't see a big improvement in the public acceptance at the moment, certainly not in Europe and Asia.
Right. So if I ask you to use your crystal ball, when will we start to see, or will we ever start to see GM acceptance?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because GMOs and field crops are accepted. I think we are growing millions of hectares per year now, especially in the Americas. There is no real negative influence, at least there is no proof of that. So I think it will be accepted, but certainly for vegetables it takes some years more. And certainly the barriers of regulation need to go down.
Right.
It needs to become cheaper.
So we're over here in Asia where the vegetable seed industry is considerable, obviously. What do you see as the major issue facing the global vegetable seed industry for 2015 and beyond?
I see an increase of outbreaks of diseases, of new diseases as well. So that means, and that is also a big opportunity basically for our industry, to breed for new resistances. But that will certainly be a challenge and an opportunity. So that is basically good for our industry. Absolutely. Because we constantly need to breed for new varieties. Another challenge is the awareness on infringements. In more and more countries we have very good protection, but not all. China has accepted plant breeders' rights. But to take really action against infringements, that is still another chapter, and that needs absolutely good attention in the coming years. What more? I think what is also important is to attract more young students to our industry. We are a small industry, with young people not all that well known. And certainly in the more breeding, but even in business, we are not always very attractive to young people.
It's true.
So we have to promote ourselves better, I think.
Well said. I agree completely. The section committee that happened here at ISF, I understand was a great one this year for the flower and veg folks. Can you tell us a little bit, what's the #1 topic? What are folks talking about here in Beijing as the big issue for right now?
Basically, I think the topics I just addressed. One other topic certainly was the produce industry.
Okay.
Because we are on the start, say, of the whole produce chain. And that starts with seed, but it ends with the consumer. But in between, you see, say, the connections becoming shorter and shorter. So there are many growers, large growers, who deliver directly to the retailer. And I think that is an increasing trend even in Asia, although it is still not as far as in Europe and in America. On the other hand, certainly in China, the requirements for healthy food is absolutely very important. So tracking and tracing of also vegetables is becoming more important. And this tracking and tracing starts already with the seed and even the seed lot. So that is, I think, an opportunity for the industry, but also for growers. It will change the attitude of growers. And not only think about yield and resistance, but also what is the consumer and the retailer asking from us.
No small task.
Interesting one.
Interesting task.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Cool. Thanks very much for sitting down with me today. I really appreciate it.
Okay.